Can I trump all the arguments?
No, you
Even
can't.
if
You can
it is
try.
technically feasible. So there's some crazy, crazy ideas. Can I give you guys a couple of crazy ideas?
Sure.
One of the craziest ones I've heard is free space cooling, where you basically you heat up droplets of coolant and then you let it just go out into space, but then you come around and catch it the next time
Yeah.
around. And
Yeah.
so it
It's
is
more efficient than
literally,
radiative hurt. Yeah.
yeah, it's like it, bizarre idea. Another crazy idea is multi-kilometer sheets of integrated circuits with that are low powered, that each have their own solar and their own cooling, and they use tiny tiny amounts, but they're so huge that they can run self-sustained with no cooling and no shielding, to Ray's point, because you've got so many of them. So think about like the Cerebrus AI chips. Like imagine that,
And
except
Sure.
on a 10 square kilometer kind of basis. Then
Sure.
maybe that works. And so there's crazy ideas. But even if we could do that, we ain't going to do it anytime soon. I mean, this is going to be many years in the future, decades at least. And who can predict what we're going to need in another few decades?
yeah, I don't think we're decades away from data centers in space. I mean, even Google, which is sort of conservative on their launch costs, predict by 2030 that launch costs will be under $200 a kilogram. Now, if
Yeah.
you look at Elon's talking about, $10 to $40 a kilogram at that time. So here's the question. If people are really putting data centers at the back of their houses, and the people are actually able to use these things, why can't you put that sort of level of integration out in orbit as a relatively small satellite? It doesn't have to be megawatt size. It's probably on the order of, kilowatts and stuff like that. And who's to say that that wouldn't be a viable thing? And if you're doing, rather than, one massive satellite, 10,000 small satellites or even 1,000 small satellites, now you've got potential for manufacturing scale and innovation and stuff like that. I think all that's possible. I think I'll shut up now.
I agree that it's possible. I mean, Stephen, to your point, I don't have a crystal ball, and I don't know whether we're 10 years away or 50 years away or 5 years away. Or a Palantir, if you will. Don't look into the Palantir too closely. Sorry, little Middle Earth humor there. I do know that the experimentation is good, and economics are going to drive how hard and fast we go after this. And if Ray said data centers in the back of my house. Like, I don't even think that's a great characterization. It's a few GPUs, a few systems in my house. I don't want to call that a data center. I think even for PR purposes, calling it a data center in my house is going to cause more community issues. I'm excited about what the future could bring here, and let's see what the engineering ends up delivering. And Stephen, if you're right, so be it. But let's let the market play out and see how many square kilometers I can fold up in a radiator pointed away from the sun for that satellite.
Yeah, and to be honest, I can be a bit of a curmudgeon on this topic,
It's all right.
and on some topics as well. But the truth is, it's damn cool, isn't it? I mean, this is some awesome stuff, and I love speculating about this, and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
I mean, personally, again, I really feel like ultimately AI technology is going to end up looking a lot more like this and a lot less like a giant Amazon warehouse, burning up, the earth. I really feel like it's more likely that we're going to get this technology shrunk down, lower powered, and we won't need to put it in space at all than it is that we'll necessarily ever solve this. But that being said, I do think that we're going to find really interesting applications for the technology.